Hey you guys, so, or gals I should say, most of y'all are gals, but I wanted to come on for a second. Sorry, I'm trying to like straighten things out here so I don't have this, the lines on my face from the blinds. I wanted to come on here for a second and talk to y'all for a moment about something that I hear often, and that is people will tell me, you're so inspiring, you have such great willpower, I just don't have that willpower, things like that. So what I wanted to tell y'all about was a little story relating back to when my younger daughter was a baby. Sorry, I'm like getting ready to get out the door here, but when my younger daughter was an infant, she started having digestive issues. She was always a very content baby when it went to going to sleep and waking up, but she often would be very fussy. Hi, Mom. And she would just like never be content. Like I remember sitting in line waiting to pick up her older daughter from preschool when she first started preschool, and having to reach back and hold the pacifier in her mouth because she was so fussy and had an upset stomach all of the time. That continued for a while, and then she started having very infrequent bowel movements, and she started having blood in her stool. And that was the point where we decided we needed to ask for help on that. So we took her in to her primary doctor and ended up having several tests done, different procedures done, sent to a specialist, and then we were finally told that they thought it was food intolerances related to things that I was eating because I was breastfeeding. If y'all log in or watch the recording, tell me hi so I know you're here. But she had food intolerances, and it was related to things I was eating. So they told me to cut out all dairy and all soy. Well, I was dairy intolerant already, so I didn't have a lot of dairy in my diet, but I did have soy because soy seems to be in everything. So from that point forward, I made drastic changes to the way I was eating. And it was hard, but I had a very strong reason why I wanted to make the changes, because I knew the benefits of breastfeeding. I had breastfed her sisters up to like 13 months old, I think. And then I wanted that bonding and that personal time with her until she was at least a year old. And this was probably, I think, when she was about 9 months, maybe 8 months, when we finally figured out what it was. So I chose to make those changes rather than just wean her and give her formula. I wanted her to have those health benefits of breastfeeding. I wanted to have that personal bonding time with her until she was a year old. That was my goal. So it was very powerful for me to see the effects in her little body when I would eat things. And I kind of learned what things had soy in them because I would almost immediately see it in her when I nursed her. So that was very powerful for me to make changes. Over time, kind of a side note, this is the power of our bodies. I was not eating enough. I was not getting the proper nutrition. I cut out the things that had soy, but I lost a ton of weight. I went down to like 112 pounds. My wrists were tiny. I was smaller than I am right now. My pants were falling off of me, and I couldn't see it. It wasn't something that I realized because I was so laser focused on making sure that I gave her what she needed. And so my body was depleting itself in order to give her the perfect milk. That's the beauty of our bodies, is they adapt and do what they can for a length of time. If I would have continued nursing her on, I would have wasted away. And I finally had coworkers and friends telling me, look, you need to stop breastfeeding because you're starving yourself. But my point of telling you this is she was my accountability partner, for one, because I could see all of the effects of what I ate in her. So she kept me on the straight and narrow with eating what I needed to eat. The second thing is she was my why power. I so often hear people tell me, I just don't have the willpower that you have. But it's not about willpower. I call it why power. And that is the power behind the reason why you're doing things. So I could see in her immediately the effects of what I was doing. And it made me laser focused on eating the things that would not bother her stomach. So when it comes to your health and exercise and eating well, you need to become laser focused on why you're doing those things. After I quit nursing her, I went back to not eating well at all. And I've never liked vegetables, so that was probably not much of my diet when I was nursing her. It was more just cutting out the things that bothered her and not eating as much, so kind of starving myself. But you have to get laser focused on why you're doing things. You need to focus on why you do it for yourself, your own health. What effects is it having on your body that are not beneficial by not having healthier habits? And then the people around you, your immediate family, the legacy of your family. Who are you impressing on by the habits that you have every day? Who's looking up to you? Who's going to come after you? How are they going to live? I unfortunately didn't discover this path until 3 years ago. So my kids were 9, 12, and 16. And so their habits are very well deep rooted already. And so it is like a moving concrete trying to get them to change their habits. So if you have young children or you have grandchildren that are young, now's the time to show them, not tell them, but show them what it means to eat well, to put food in your body that has nutrition, to move your body every day, to exercise, to keep those muscles active, to stay a healthy weight, all of those things. You got to think about why, who are you impressing upon? And so that is what powers me every day. It's not, and that's a path that I lost for a long time, because once I finished nursing her, I didn't really have a reason, because I didn't see the benefits of it in myself until I started having ill effects from my habits and kind of feeling miserable, tired, overwhelmed, couldn't handle things on a daily basis, lots of anxiety and depression. Once those started piling up enough to where it gave me some power to want to make a change, that's when I started to make a change. The other thing is, it's hard to stay on this path. It's not an easy path, but it's a path that's worth it. The way that I help myself to stay on it is having accountability partners, like 2 of them that are watching the video right now. We keep each other on the straight and narrow. Not that we don't enjoy our lives, not that we don't have food and activities that we enjoy. We very much enjoy everything. It's about learning how to do those things and live your life, not to deprive yourself, but reward yourself, to help yourself feel better, and to have all those extra effects of impressing upon your family members and the people that are going to come after you. And one thing that really helps me a lot, that I kind of have a little bit of an advantage is when I go see my patients every day. I see patients of all ages, but I primarily see them when they're older. And so I spent 2 years in my current job before I started on this path, and I would see every person and be like, is this it? Is this what is in my future? Is this just the way it is? Until I changed my mindset and decided that it's in my power how I live my life and where I end up. But I see that every day. I see the effects of it. I see the suffering of it. And then that gives me the fuel, the why power to come home, to do the things for myself, to make better choices so that my children see that, and to move my body every day, and then to come on here and relay that to all of you, because I don't think any one of us has to suffer like that. But the problem is, society as a whole doesn't get this, and then the resources aren't out there. That's why an accountability group is so important. So that's just what I wanted to relay to y'all today. Is if you feel like you maybe see what I do or somebody else does and it's inspiring, but you say you don't have the willpower, dig deep, find the why power, find at least one reason why you need to do this every day, whether it's for yourself, whether it's for getting off medicine, whether it's for children, whatever. Find that deep-seated reason why you need to do things differently, why you're not happy with the way things are, and then that's going to ignite that motivation in you. And then once you get going, you'll start seeing the effects of those changed habits, and then it'll keep you going. That's really where the momentum comes and the power comes. So I hope that makes sense. Please comment and let me know that you've watched this. If you have any questions, let me know. Please share if you feel like it would help somebody else. And y'all have a great Monday.